Have you ever wondered if it's possible to get stronger and leaner at the same time? The answer might surprise you. Today we're diving deep into a topic that sparked endless debates in the fitness world: how to build muscle and at the same time lose fat. Stick around because what we're about to uncover could completely change the way you approach your fitness goals. Many believe that to pack on muscle, you need to bulk up, and to shed fat, you need to slim down. This idea stems from old-school bodybuilding, where massive calorie surpluses were seen as essential. But guess what? Recent science is turning this notion on its head. A study conducted by Garthe and colleagues in 2013 shed light on the efficiency of overfeeding in muscle gain. It suggests that merely increasing calorie intake does not guarantee an increase in muscle mass. Instead, it often results in more fat accumulation. This insight is significant as it questions the effectiveness of the bulking phase as traditionally practiced. Furthermore, the study implies that the relationship between calorie surplus and muscle gain is not as straightforward as previously thought, and that there may be a point of diminishing returns, where additional calories contribute more to fat than to muscle. So, does this mean the end of bulking and cutting? Not quite, but it does open up a new possibility: building muscle and losing fat simultaneously. Diving deeper into the myth of bulking and cutting, it's essential to understand why this approach has been so popular. Traditionally, bulking up involves consuming a significant calorie surplus to fuel muscle growth, followed by a cutting phase to shed the excess fat, while attempting to retain as much muscle as possible. This cycle is a staple in bodybuilding circles, aiming for that perfect stage-ready physique. But here's the catch: this process is not only challenging but also not suited for everyone's lifestyle or goals. Let's break down the science behind muscle growth and fat loss. Muscles grow through a process called hypertrophy, which requires two things: a stimulus from resistance training and the building blocks for repair and growth, primarily proteins and, to a lesser extent, the energy from calories. On the other hand, losing fat involves creating a calorie deficit, where you burn more calories than you consume, forcing your body to tap into stored fat for energy. Now, the traditional belief has been that these two processes cannot happen simultaneously because one requires a caloric surplus while the other needs a caloric deficit. However, this overlooks a critical aspect of how our bodies work. Muscle and fat tissues indeed operate through different metabolic pathways, meaning it's possible to provide enough nutrients and energy for muscle growth while your body uses stored fat to make up for a caloric deficit elsewhere. And actually, recent studies have supported this, showing that with proper nutrition, particularly high-protein intake, and a well-designed training program, individuals can achieve muscle hypertrophy even in a calorie deficit. But don't get me wrong, while energy deficits lead to smaller gains in lean mass and strength, the negative impact on lean mass was significant only beyond a daily energy deficit of approximately 500 calories. The study also highlights the unique potential for muscle hypertrophy in caloric deficit conditions. This is especially true for beginners, people returning to fitness after a break, and those with higher body fat percentages. These groups have the most to gain from a body recomposition strategy, where they can see significant changes in muscle mass and fat loss within the same period. The idea here isn't to dismiss bulking and cutting entirely, but to introduce a better understanding of body composition. For many, the goal isn't to become a competitive bodybuilder, but to look and feel better, improve health, and increase strength and endurance. If you have these goals, entering a massive caloric surplus may just lead to unnecessary fat gain, so you're going to have to work double time to cut the excess gain. In essence, by focusing on a balanced diet rich in proteins and nutrients and coupling it with a rigorous training regimen, you can fuel your muscles for growth without the need for excessive calorie consumption. This approach not only simplifies the process, but also makes it more attainable and sustainable for the average person looking to improve their physical health and appearance. All right, we've laid down the groundwork and the science behind muscle building, which leads us to discuss our concept of focus: recomposition. Recomposition is simply the process of building muscle and losing fat at the same time. It may sound like a pipe dream, but in truth, it's a realistic goal for almost everyone. Who can benefit most from recomposition? 1. Beginners or newcomers to strength training. If you're just starting your fitness journey, your body is at its peak for muscle growth responsiveness. This is what we call newbie gains, where even minimal exercise stimulus can lead to significant muscle development. Moreover, beginners often have a higher body fat percentage, providing a vast energy reserve that the body can utilize, enabling both fat loss and muscle gains simultaneously. 2. People with higher body fat percentages. Those who carry extra fat can support muscle synthesis by burning fat reserves to make up for the caloric deficit induced by dieting, assuming protein intake is adequate to support muscle repair and growth. Further discussions on the topic, based on insights from experts like Eric Trexler, PhD, and Greg Nuckols, MA, indicate that individuals with higher body fat percentages may experience leaner muscle gains during bulking phases. This is due to their substantial energy reserves from stored fat, which can be utilized to support muscle synthesis in the absence of a caloric surplus. This challenges the conventional wisdom around bulking and suggests that individuals with higher body fat can effectively engage in body recomposition without adhering strictly to bulking and cutting cycles. 3. Individuals returning to fitness. For those re-entering the fitness scene after a hiatus, muscle memory offers a significant advantage. This concept refers to the body's capability to quickly rebuild previously lost muscle mass due to the cell's retained memory of their past strength and size. This accelerated muscle regain, often accompanied by fat loss with careful nutrition, makes recomposition a likely outcome for the comeback crowd. 4. Users of anabolic steroids. Despite the considerable health risks and ethical concerns associated with their use, anabolic steroids have a profound impact on muscle growth and fat metabolism. From a physiological perspective, here's a study from 2020. Indeed, anabolic androgenic steroids, or AAS, significantly impact muscle hypertrophy and metabolic processes, enhancing muscle-building capacity and fat-burning efficiency when combined with exercise. However, their use comes with severe health risks, including potential cardiovascular disease, insulin resistance, and metabolic syndrome alterations. Now, the question is, how can you make this happen? It boils down to 5 key steps. Step 1. Training is key. The foundation of recomposition is a well-structured training regimen that emphasizes progressive overload. Progressive overload involves gradually increasing the weight, frequency, or intensity of your workouts over time, challenging your muscles to adapt and grow stronger. It's not just about lifting weights. It's about systematically pushing your boundaries to stimulate muscle hypertrophy. Without this stimulus, muscles won't grow regardless of how optimized your diet may be. Incorporate a variety of compound and isolation exercises to target all muscle groups effectively and ensure you're consistently increasing the challenge to keep the muscles adapting. Step 2. Set a primary goal. Having a clear objective in mind simplifies decision-making around your fitness strategy. If muscle gain is your priority, your approach to diet and training will differ slightly from someone whose primary goal is fat loss. Identifying this goal helps tailor your calorie intake and workout intensity. For those looking to bulk up, focusing on lifting heavier weights and eating slightly more calories than maintenance level can fuel muscle growth. Conversely, if shredding fat is the aim, then try to combine strength training and cardio, and for your diet, a moderate calorie deficit is much preferred. Step 3. Adjust your calories. Speaking of calories, your caloric intake is crucial in determining whether you gain muscle, lose fat, or achieve both simultaneously. To gain muscle without accumulating too much fat, aim for a slight caloric surplus, just enough to support muscle synthesis without overdoing it. For fat loss, a careful caloric deficit that allows your body to burn fat for energy while still having enough nutrients to support muscle maintenance is key. Calculating your maintenance calories, how many calories you burn in a day, and adjusting from there based on your goal is a strategic approach. This adjustment doesn't have to be drastic. Small, sustainable changes are often more effective and manageable in the long run. Step 4. Protein is your friend. High protein intake is non-negotiable in body recomposition. Protein not only supports muscle repair and growth, but also has a higher thermic effect, meaning it burns more calories during digestion compared to fats and carbohydrates. This can aid in fat loss. Aim for at least 1.6 to 2.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, distributing intake evenly across meals to maximize muscle protein synthesis. Opt for quality protein sources like lean meats, fish, dairy, legumes, and protein supplements to meet your daily needs. Step 5. Pay attention to the details. The devil is in the details when it comes to fine-tuning your body's composition. Adequate sleep comes out on top, since it's during rest that your body repairs and grows. Try to have 7 to 9 hours per night to support recovery, hormonal balance, and overall health. Managing stress is equally important, as chronic stress can hinder muscle growth and promote fat storage, especially around your stomach area. Lastly, nutrient timing. Eating the right foods at the right times will enhance your workout performance and recovery. While it's not as critical as total daily intake, consuming a mix of proteins and carbohydrates before and after workouts can help fuel exercise sessions and aid in muscle repair. You now have the goods to go for a smooth recomposition process, but it's not totally complete yet. The final piece of the puzzle is none other than optimization, especially for those beyond the beginner stage. Sleep more, focus on peri-workout nutrition, and consider supplements like protein powder, creatine, and caffeine. These small adjustments can make a big difference in your recomposition efforts. So, is body recomposition a realistic goal? Absolutely. With the right approach, nearly anyone can build muscle and lose fat at the same time. It's not about following outdated myths, but understanding how your body works and optimizing your training and nutrition accordingly. Remember, it's not just about looking good. It's about being healthy and strong. Now, what if I told you that the secrets to unlocking your full potential don't stop there? What if there were more advanced strategies, hidden tips, and fitness myths waiting to be debunked? Well, guess what? There are. Stay tuned because in our next video, we're diving even deeper into the science of fitness and nutrition. We'll uncover the lesser-known truths that could catapult your progress to levels you've never imagined.